you can't stop me from chasing my dreams. I know it's rough and the road is long. I got the strength that can carry me home. Yeah. You can try to silence my voice, but the world's gonna hear my song. 'Cause whether I'm right or whether I'm wrong,
what up? This is my show, Setbacks. We live, we active here on the channel, yes indeed. And let's talk a little bit of UFC 235. It's in the books, and man, this was a weird card. I guess I'm gonna say. It was a weird card. I mean, it wasn't bad. It wasn't spectacular, but it was weird. And we're gonna talk about it. We can get into all the fights, at least a couple of them. We're gonna get into more than just the main and the co-main, because there was a lot of good fights on this card. Let's start with the undercard, the prelims. Two matches I want to talk about specifically: Diego Sanchez and Mickey Gall. You guys remember Mickey Gall fought CM Punk. He's had a couple other fought the kid Northcutt, fought Sage Northcutt too. But so Mickey Gall fought Diego Sanchez. We all know Diego Sanchez is a tough veteran. He's been in there with everybody. He's been in there with the best of the best. And Mickey Gall is just his inexperience showed in that fight. Diego Sanchez wore him out, beat him up, and got the win via ground and pound stoppage. Good win for Diego Sanchez. It's a setback for Mickey Gall. Let's see where he goes from here. It was a good fight though. Shouts out to Diego Sanchez for just being a warrior. He's got like 30 fights, man. He's got like 30 fights. So he's a warrior, a veteran, and a smart veteran. The other fight on the undercard that I want to talk about is Zabit Magomedsharipov, I think I pronounced that right. I probably didn't. Versus Jeremy Little Heathen Stevens. Jeremy got beat up, man. He made it a fight in that third round. He won the third round. I'm gonna say that he won the third round. That third round was a bit of a war. Well, they was throwing. That was a good fight. But those first two rounds, man, Zabit just pieced him up with some very creative offense. Zabit tried to throw the Showtime kick, didn't connect with it, but he Jeremy caught a little, maybe some shin, some knee, but it wasn't, but it was pretty. I mean, Zabit went for it. He's got some really creative striking, and he's a force, man. Zabit is a legit contender, man. With him beating Jeremy Stevens, man, he's a legit contender. So it was a good fight. Jeremy fought. I'll give him that. He fought. He was upset that he won. I'm like, bro, you clearly lost the first two rounds. I mean, you won the third, and you made it a war, but it wasn't enough to win the fight. But it was a good fight. It was a good fight. Now on to the main card. Let's talk about Cody Garbrandt and Pedro Munez. Munez.
Please recharge in.
Sorry, that was my stupid Bluetooth speaker. Cody Garbrandt gets knocked out again. This is his third knockout loss in a row. Two of them to TJ Dillashaw, now this one. I don't know if Cody doesn't have a chin, or I don't know, because first of all, they won fight of the night. It was a war. But Cody got clipped first, he got hurt, and then he just went into, fuck it, I'm swinging for the fences. And that's his problem. At least for me, that's Cody's problem. When he gets hurt and he gets into danger, instead of taking a moment and trying to recover, he's just like, fuck it, I'm just throwing. That's why you got knocked out. That's why you've been knocked out your last 3 fights. I don't know where Cody goes from here. It's going to be interesting to see what Garbrandt does from there. And then let's go to the top 3 cards. I mean, Tisha Torres lost to the Asian chick. I don't remember her name. It was a decent fight. But let's go to the 3 main cards. Ben Askren versus Robbie Lawler. Ruthless Robbie Lawler. Man, Ben Askren got his ass whooped. And then he won. Or did he? That's how crazy and confusing this entire card was. So, and this was all in the first round. So the fight starts. Askren shoots for the takedown, which you know he's gonna do. That's what Askren does. He's a wrestler, and he's got a leg. I think I don't remember. He had like Robbie Lawler's leg, and then something happened, and Robbie Lawler literally looked like he gave him a fucking angle slam. I mean, he dropped Askren on his fucking head, and then started beating the shit out of him. I mean, he was raining down punches. Askren was busted open, a bloody mess. But he survived it. He was able to scramble, get position. He took Robbie Lawler down. And once Askren has you on the mat, it's just what is he going to do from there? Robbie fought. I mean, he manhandled, but then he got Askren got Robbie in a gorilla choke, and Herb Dean didn't have a good angle on it, and nobody had a good. The cameraman didn't have a good angle on it. Even Joe Rogan and the commentators were screaming, "Oh, he's out! He's out! He's out!" So Herb Dean pulls Askren off, and Robbie Lawler was not out. And then he lost his shit, and he flipped, and it was too late. Fight was over. It's too late. Would he have gone out? I don't know. We don't know. But he was not out when Herb Dean stopped the fight. It was a bad stoppage. And shouts out to Herb Dean because he's one of the best referees in the game, but he messed up. I mean, these refs ain't perfect. I mean, he's not Yamasaki. I mean, he's not Mario Yamasaki with the, you know what I'm saying, with the late stoppages and stuff like that. Referees make mistakes. This was a clear mistake. The fight shouldn't have been stopped. I'm not saying Askren wasn't going to win anyway. We don't know what the outcome was going to be, but it shouldn't have been stopped. But anyway, it was stopped early. Ben Askren gets the win via gorilla choke, even though Robbie Lawler wasn't out. Good fight. What's next for Askren? And while this is a loss for Robbie, it's not really a loss. So where does Robbie go from here? I mean, he was winning that fight. He had Ben Askren fucked up. Ben Askren was a bloody mess. So, I don't know, man. That was a tough fight to watch. I feel bad for Robbie Lawler, but congrats to Ben. And give Ben Askren some credit, because he survived a beating. He survived a beating, and then to go ahead and wrestle and still get that gorilla choke. Man, Ben Askren's going to be a problem for that division, bro. He is going to be a problem. And we'll get to the top of that card. Co-main event. Kamaru Usman versus the current welterweight champion Tyron Woodley. No longer current. We have and new. And this was completely shocking. Now, I will not lie to you. I like Kamaru Usman. Like him a lot. But I thought T. Wood was going to win this fight going away. I was like, nope. Tyron is a great wrestler. Kamaru's a great wrestler, but Tyron's a better wrestler than Kamaru Usman. And Tyron got knockout power. That was the consensus of pretty much everybody. No disrespect to Mark, but Kamaru was like, nope, you guys don't know. And Kamaru said it. Tyron ain't willing to go where I'm willing to go. And man, was that the understatement of the year. You want to talk about lopsided fights. Kamaru won all 5 rounds. One of them was a 10-8 round. He completely dominated Tyron Woodley. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with Tyron. He did not look like himself. It was just a strange fight. He didn't get off. He completely got out-wrestled. Tyron Woodley, who trains with Ben Askren, who's one of the best wrestlers in MMA, in UFC. Current welterweight champion, completely got out-wrestled by Kamaru Usman. I don't know what happened. That fight was weird to see. But congrats to Kamaru Usman, the first African champion. That boy's a problem. The Nigerian Nightmare is a problem. Colby Covington, you don't want that smoke. But please come get it. But you don't want that smoke. Kamaru Usman will whoop your ass. Covington's a bitch doing all that stupid shit. Although it was funny when he rolled up on Dana and Dana was with the prostitute, was with the hooker. If you ain't seen the video, it's the funniest shit ever. The way the hooker slides out of camera so she don't get seen is the funniest shit I'm going to see all week. That was hilarious. But Colby Covington's still a piece of shit. And I hope Kamaru Usman whoops his ass. I wanted, no matter who won that fight, Tyron or Kamaru, I wanted either of them to whoop Colby Covington's ass. And I'm disappointed for Tyron, disappointed in his performance. I mean, he just didn't show up. But salute to Kamaru, man. That was a good win. We got a new welterweight champion, ladies and gentlemen. And what really sucks for Tyron is he will never get another shot at that title. It's just never going to happen. Dana hates his guts. He's been trying to get that belt off Tyron for 2 years now. Tyron was whooping everybody's ass. Here's the thing that's so funny. It ain't like Dana's that big of a fan of Kamaru either. He talked shit about Kamaru Usman too. You know Dana don't like black fighters, man. I know whatever. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Dana White. I think he's a piece of shit, and I think he's ruining the fight game. But that's a video for another day. Shouts out to Kamaru Usman, the new welterweight champion, and we'll see what's up next for Tyron Woodley. Colby is up next for Kamaru. Dana already said that. So Kamaru Usman versus Colby Covington. Hopefully, Colby don't start acting like a bitch like he is, but we'll see. Main event time. Main event time. John Jones versus Anthony Smith. This went pretty much as expected, other than the fact that he didn't finish him. A lot of people were saying shouts out to Anthony Smith for toughing it out and being tough. Yeah, I mean, let's be clear. Anthony Smith is a tough motherfucker. Tough is all get out. But John whooped his ass on cruise control. Ain't nobody gonna tell me. And you know what? And I don't expect John to say anything because he shouldn't, because he'd be an asshole if he did. But there is nothing you can convince me to tell me that John did not cruise through that fight, and he still whooped Anthony's ass. I mean, he was on cruise control the whole fight. I mean, he got deducted 2 points for an illegal knee, and still won every round. Who can beat this man? Who can beat this man? John Jones is the GOAT. The GOAT. There is no legit contenders left at light heavyweight for him. None. Who? Corey Anderson? Jimmy Walker looked good. I mean, yeah, Johnny Walker. See, I call him Jimmy Walker. Johnny Walker looked good. And while he's not ready yet, he is an interesting matchup down the road. Obviously, he's still got 3-4 more fights before at least 3 fights before he gets to fight John. He's got to beat Gustafsson. He should have to beat Anthony Smith. Anthony Smith, Gustafsson, and, I don't know, Corey Anderson or Ovince St. Preux. If he beats those 3 guys, then you give him John. But, man, he looked impressive last night with that flying knee. That was an impressive win for Johnny Walker. But who, other than that, who is left in the 205-pound division for John to fight? He's got to move up to heavyweight. But they'll find another contender. John wants to stay at light heavyweight, as he should. He's the GOAT. Find somebody else for him to beat up. Shouts out to Anthony Smith, though. He stayed in there, took some shots, got beat up, got took down, got beat up. His takedown defense was better than I thought it was going to be. He was actually able to stuff some of John's takedowns. Anthony Smith's a tough dude, but he's a journeyman. He's a journeyman. This was his shot, and you know what I'm saying? Nobody predicted he was in it. The fact that he didn't get finished is a testament to his skill. But he was never going to win that fight unless John just completely phoned it in. And I don't care what you're saying. That's just no disrespect to Anthony Smith. John's just that much better than him. He was on cruise control for that fight. I'm saying it. That's not John saying that. John would never say that, and he'll probably get mad at me for saying that. But the way that fight looked, John pieced him up, beat his ass, and I'd say 60%. So, where do we go from here? It was an interesting card. New champion in Kamaru Usman. John Jones is still the GOAT. We all knew that. So where do we go from here? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of the card. I thought it was a really interesting card overall. I don't know, man. It was just a very interesting night, a weird night. So I don't know. We'll see what's next. Comment below. Let me know what y'all thought of the card overall. Who do you think's next for Usman? Who do you think's next for Tyron? Let's take a good coach. Where does Tyron Woodley go from here? Leave your comments below what you guys think should be next for Tyron Woodley. And until next time, you know how we do. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Click the notification buttons. And until next time,
That's one thing that I believe. You can't stop me from chasing my dreams. I know it's rough and the road is long.